Bonjour! My name is David DeVere. I'm a wine educator and traveler, and you're watching Savvy Nomad TV, the Eau de Vie edition. This is day 16 of the Costco Wine Advent box. If you don't know what we're doing here, you can follow this link. If you do know what you're doing here, then let's see what day 16 is. Okay, here we are, day 16. Let's see what the box has got for us. And where is the 1/6? The 1/6 right here. It's a holly leaf. Hey, we're almost done with this row. It's not a holly leaf. It's a pine cone twiggy thing. Okay, done with that. What do we got? Well, I knew it was coming. I knew there'd be a Greek wine in here. I wore my Greek sailor outfit today, and here it is. A Greek something. Okay, I'm going to have to look up this grape. Well, there it is. Kotsifali. Kotsifali plus Syrah. Do you think that's how you say it? Kotsifali? I know it's Syrah. I know that part's right. Okay, so Greek wines. Why don't we see more Greek wines out there? I don't know. I mean, the Greeks have been drinking wine longer than the Romans. And the Roman wine, well, Italian wine, is everywhere. It's very widely distributed. But Greek wine, I guess it doesn't travel well. I mean, it doesn't transplant and move to another place. So, looking in my wine grapes book, I look up Kotsifali. I don't know how you say that in Greek. I don't even know if that's how you say it. But that's how I'm saying it right here. And by the way, another kudos to this book. I mean, it had this. It's only got one page on it, but it's in here. Amazing. Anyway, here's what Jancis Robinson says. An oft maligned variety widely planted in Crete, producing soft, pale, alcoholic, but potentially aromatic and distinctive reds. So what's interesting about this is that we've got Kotsifali plus Syrah. So Syrah is one of our noble grape varieties, our noble reds. They are Merlot, Cabernet Sauvignon, Pinot Noir, and Syrah. And Syrah makes really nice, deep extracted reds. And it's a great blender. It blends well often with Mourvedre and Grenache. Those are called GSMs, or Grenache Syrah Mourvedre blends. And those make Southern Rhone varietals. Those are what you find in a Côte de Rhone type wine. And those are really food-friendly and very approachable. Nice, big, bold wine. If you're a big, bold wine drinker, a Côte de Rhone is something that you should try. And Syrah by itself actually makes a very good wine. And the Australians make a lot of Syrah, which they call Shiraz. Why? I don't know. Australians have nicknames for everything. So it's interesting here to find Kotsifali blended with Syrah. So Jancis says that Kotsifali is very thin-skinned and is aromatic, but it kind of makes a thin-skinned, not particularly good wine. And she goes on to even say that the wine is often blended with Syrah to make this varietal. So interestingly enough, here it is in our Costco wine box, Kotsifali plus Syrah. Now, I've never been to a liquor store that has a Greek wine section. I mean, I'm sure they have some. No, I mean have some liquor stores that have Greek wine, but in my area, I've never seen one. I've been to some of the biggest stores in Minneapolis. Do they have Greek wine? I don't think so. I've bought thousands and thousands of dollars of wine at a time for some of my wine classes, and I've never seen Greek wines, and I've combed the aisles. I mean, I know almost everything in those stores. Greek wines just don't get exported. and they don't really get consumed. Now, if you go to a Greek restaurant or you live in a big city, you'll probably be able to find some Greek wines. But for me, in a smaller area in northern Minnesota, I just don't have it. So this will be interesting to see. Will Kotsifali be oft maligned, as they say, or will it, with its blend of the noble grape Syrah, will it be really exciting? I think I kind of look like a Greek sailor, don't you think? Okay, let's try this. Okay, let's fill out our tasting card. Day 16, we've got Syrah, Kotsifali. It's from Greece. It's actually from Crete. And what's it aged in? Well, this actually gives me an interesting thought. The Romans learned how to make oak barrels from the Gauls. Those are people in France, northern Italy, and in Germany. The Romans didn't really know how to make oak barrels. They learned that from the Gallic peoples. The Romans used clay amphora. They used pottery to store everything in. They put grain and olives, olive oil, wine, everything went into an amphora. The Romans are essentially just Italianate Greeks. They copied just everything from the Greek societies. They were probably originally Etruscans, and they were just the most dominant Etruscan city-state. But they copied the Greeks. So the Greeks probably, they didn't know how to use an oak barrel either. They probably used amphora too. So in Greek wine, there probably isn't a tradition of using oak to age your wine. Now, that doesn't mean that you couldn't have added the tradition. Those traditions do get added, technologies get changed, cultures swap ideas, etc. But can we assume that this is aged in oak? No, we can't, because it's Greek. So what's it aged in? I don't know. Clay or oak. Who knows? All right, enough about barrels. Let's get into this. Kotsifali and Syrah. This is kind of exciting. The wine Advent box is giving us a pretty good little tour of the world here. I have to admit, for $100, you're getting to travel at Christmas time in a world where travel right now is very difficult. Not going to spill. Oh, that was very soft. Okay. Kotsifali and Syrah. All right. So initially, the color is kind of pale. If it was just Syrah, I wouldn't expect it to be this pale. And if I was just looking at it, I would think it was a Pinot Noir, just straight out, just from sight. Okay, so here we get red and pale. Now let's smell it. Okay, the last few episodes, Syrah has been saying smells like beer. And I thought, what is she keen on? And you know what she's keen on is the yeast aroma. And that's what she's smelling. She's smelling the yeast in the wine, which that's a fault. You're not supposed to. So that's not particularly good. Okay, what do I get here? Well, I get something like Bing cherry. Ooh, there was a little layer of candy. Maybe Jolly Rancher strawberry. A little hint of smoke now. Gosh, this has got a lot. I got smoke, Jolly Rancher, and cherry, all this 3 aromas. Okay, I don't know what the aroma's supposed to be, but It's strong, so I'm going to give it a 9 for aroma because, wow, that was intense. Okay, well, so far so good. Let's give this a taste. All right, working through the chart. Dry or sweet? It's dry. What's the body? Medium. What's the acidity? I'm going to go fresh. It's nice. Nothing special. It's a 6. What's the balance? There's a slight alcohol burn. I absolutely do notice that. But I haven't had really anything but a cappuccino this morning. It's 9:30 in the morning when I'm filming this. So my palate is pretty raw, just a coffee. I should really take another sip because that first sip is going to really be shocking. Conversely, if you're at the end of your day and you're drinking this, I mean, who drinks wine at 9:30 except somebody making videos on YouTube? At the end of the day, your palate's going to be worn out, tired. So grade accordingly. Okay, the alcohol, on second blush, it's not so bad. The acidity is fine. The tannins are grippy but smooth. The sugars are good. It's well balanced. I'm going to give it a 7. Complexity. Is it complex? Not as much as the aroma. Smells great. Doesn't really show up in the complexity department. I don't get any additional flavors in there. Is it disappointing? Only in regards to how the aroma smelled, and then it doesn't actually have all those flavors, so maybe a little bit disappointing. I'm going to give it a 4. And the finish and length. Okay. Is it a long finish? I can still taste it. It's still going. I'm going to give it a medium. It's not particularly long. And I'm going to give it a 4 also. Okay, but nothing to get excited about. All right. There's my scores. I'm going to go do my math. Okay, here are my final scores for our Kotsifali plus Syrah Greek Day 16 Advent wine. Aroma, 9. It really was nice. Acidity, 6. Balance, 7. Complexity, 4. Finish, 4. We started out strong. It kind of ended a little weak. That's 30 points. Add 50 to that, and we've got 80. You know, I don't know how this rates against other Kotsifali Syrah blends. I don't even know if I'm saying the grape varietal correctly. I've never had this before. Completely new to me. Absolutely. Honest. Never had it. So I don't know how it's supposed to taste. I don't know if this is a mediocre one. I don't know if this is a great one. I don't know anything about Greek wine. I wish I did. I'm glad the Advent box showed me something new. And I hope you enjoyed it too. If you've enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. If you're new here, or if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. And if you like this wine, or didn't like the wine, or you want to make any comment, even about my Greek sailor outfit, you can leave a comment down below. And until tomorrow, until day 17, I'll say a tutelare and cheers.
Hi. Is there a theme of sort of mariner logos recently? Mermaid wine. You know what? This has a tiny bit of that, I identify it as rainforest smell, which I usually smell with Merlot. which is a little bit woodsy and herbal, but almost like it's been raining. Oh, the more I smell it, the better it smells. Okay, I'll just go ahead and taste it. I don't want to though. I just want to keep smelling. That's all I want to do. Okay. Very bright. Kind of maybe a little bit high acid, but also I definitely feel it as it goes down. But it's kind of yummy. I don't know. Cheers.